talk to me about like the job that you accepted now. Like, how did that interview process go for you? What did you share during the interview that ultimately landed you the job?
Yeah, so I work for Booz Allen Hamilton is the name of the company, and the interview process was pretty straightforward, and it I think the reason it went really well is because from the beginning, I kind of controlled how the flow went, and what I mean is that, you know, obviously we started off greetings and everything, and they kind of asked me about my experience. And so from there, I just kind of took it and kind of directed the conversation to everything that I had done at Sabio for Rosehip. So, I talked about uh, developing the database, building it out. I, talked about building that web APIs in C#. I talked about building the components in React, and how we used functional components in this development, and why we used it. And I just kind of controlled the flow of the conversation to everything I knew about, and was able to hit on a lot of points very quickly. And it was everything I did know. So, it's not like it was any way deceitful. It was just highlighting everything I, had done and everything that I knew and had learned up until that point. And they were impressed with that. They called me back for a second interview. That was more of a making sure, personality and that kind of thing. It wasn't the first one was the technical interview, which I was not actually prepared for a technical interview at that moment. That kind of surprised me. I didn't, they didn't make it sound like it was going to be, but it was, and it went really well. So
What I'm hearing you say is just having that confidence when you go into the interview. When you're saying control, it's not like you're really controlling them, but it's the fact that you knew what you wanted to talk about and you drove that conversation. And
right.
because you were able to talk about everything that basically they're going to ask you questions about, that really like showcased that you are a strong candidate and that you were confident in what in your skill set, and you knew what you're talking about, you knew what you were doing. And so I love that about what you just shared. Definitely want to encourage everyone on the call, if you're listening, especially those who are now going into the interview process at the end of your program here, listen to this piece of advice. Know what you're talking about, be confident in the conversation, and utilize that to your advantage to be able to impress the interviewers that you have. Okay. That's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that.